Good morning, everyone. I am Krisha Mange, and today I'll be talking about a very essential topic, which is managing the network documentation. This is my presentation, which I will be talking about. These are the contents which I will be covering in this presentation. Now, think for a second. What would happen if a company's entire network suddenly failed and no one knew which device was connected where? That's where the network documentation becomes the unsung hero. In any organization, the network is the backbone of communication and data transfer. To keep it efficient and secure, we need proper documentation, detailed records of devices, IP configurations, and diagrams. Just like the architect maintains the blueprint of the building, network documentation acts as the blueprint of an IT system. It helps administrator monitor, troubleshoot, and expand the network smoothly and securely. The core concept of managing the network documentation is to keep an organized record of every part of the network, from diagrams and configurations to the IP details and access permissions. It acts as a central knowledge base, storing all the key network information in one place for easy access. And it serves an operational mandate, defining the procedure and standards everyone follows to keep the network consistent, secure, and well managed. Now, why is this so important? Because it becomes a single source of truth for everyone who manages the network. It ensures consistency, clarity, and accountability, transforming a complex IT infrastructure into a well mapped, easily manageable system. Now, let's look at how it actually works. Managing the network documentation usually involves four key steps. First, we collect all the details like device names, IP configuration. Second, we create a network diagram to visualize how everything connects. Third, we store and organize this data in tools or files for quick access. And finally, we update and maintain it regularly whenever the network changes. Now, let me ask you a question. Have you ever seen a system diagram that's outdated or confusing? That's exactly why continuous updates are so important. They keep the documentation relevant and reliable. Now, we will see the key advantages. So, like any process, network documentation has its pros and cons. The major advantages include faster troubleshooting, better management, enhanced security, and easier planning for future upgrades. But yes, if there are pros, there will be cons. So there are limitations too. It takes time to prepare, needs regular updates, and there's always the risk of human error or data leak if not properly protected. So the key is to balance and maintain it well as it pays off massively. Now we will be seeing how to maintain the network diagrams. When it comes to managing the network documentation, these four practices makes all the difference. First, automate and integrate. Using the tools that automatically collect and update network details and connect them with other IT systems. This saves time and reduces human error. Next, standardize and simplify, following a consistent format, naming style, and structure so that anyone can understand the document easily. Then, version control and audit, always keeping the track of changes, knowing who updated what, and reviewing the documentation regularly to maintain the accuracy. Finally, accessibility and centralization, storing all the documents in one secure, shared place so the right people can access the largest information anytime. Now, suppose there is a ABC tech company which is having the downtime reduced by 40%. So, before proper network documentation, their IT team often faced delays during the troubleshooting because device details and configuration were not clearly recorded. After they implemented a well structured documentation system, every connection, IP, and configuration was properly mapped and updated. The result? Their network downtime reduced by nearly 40%. This shows how effective documentation can directly improve the network reliability and performance, saving both time and productivity. Now we will be seeing the challenges and the limitations faced. While the network documentation is highly beneficial, it also has a few challenges. First, the steps involved can be time and resource intensive. Collecting the details, creating diagrams, and maintaining them takes effort and coordination. Secondly, it needs regular updates because networks keeps changing and the documentation has to stay current to be useful. Third, there is the potential for human error, especially when data is entered manually, which can lead to inaccurate information. And lastly, a major concern is the risk to data security, since the documentation holds the sensitive information from an unauthorized access. So, while the process takes time, overcoming this challenge makes the network far more reliable and efficient. Now we will be seeing the difference between manual and automated documentation. So now when it comes to how documentation is done, we have two main approaches. One is manual and second is automated. Manual documentation manual documentation depends on people entering the data, which can be slow and error prone. Whereas automated tools, on the other hand, can scan and record network detail instantly. Now, which one do you think the most large companies prefer today? Of course, automation, because it's faster, more accurate, and cost effective in the long run, even if it needs initial setup. Now we will be seeing the real life applications. Network documentation is not just theory, it's used every day in real world IT environments. For example, in large organization, it helps to monitor the network efficiently. During troubleshooting, it speeds up the problem solving since all the devices data is readily available. It's also crucial for cybersecurity audits to track the access and ensure the compliance. And when networks are expanded, it ensures the smooth transaction with the disruption. Now we will be further moving to the expert insights and best practices. Now expert suggest keeping the network documentation simple, consistent and always updated. Using the automation tools, following the standard formats and reviewing the documents properly. The goal is to make it easy to understand and reliable for everyone who manages the network. Now, the final conclusion. To wrap up, network documentation is the blueprint of an IT system. It keeps everything organized, secure, and manageable. It is not just a technical task, it is a strategic tool that helps businesses to stay efficient and resilient. Thank you.